Hello?
Oh, yes. Can you see me?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
103.
103, Kuf Gimel. Rav Huna bar Yehuda, Ikla be Rava. Rav Huna, the son of Rav Yehuda, visited Rava. It was Motzei Shabbos. Aisum Kamayu Mor Upsami. They brought him a candle and they brought him the spices. Baruch Rava Absamim Bereisha V'Hadar Amaor. He made the bracha on the Besamim first and then on the candle. Amar Lei. So Ravuna asked Rava, Vaha Bein Beis Shammai Ubein Beis Hillel Mo'or Bereisha V'Hadar Absamim. How could you bench on the Psamim first? Both Beis Shammai and Beis Hillel hold that you're supposed to make the bracha on the candle first. Mahi, where is this machlokes? It's not, and we learn in the Mishnah. Shammai oimrim ner umazon b'samim v'havdalah. That if you only have one kos after benching on Motzei Shabbos, they bring the candle, you make the bracha on the candle, then you make birchas hamazon, then you smell the b'samim, and then you make havdalah, mavdil ben kodesh l'chol. Beis Hillel oimrim ner. So you see, both Beis Shammai and Beis Hillel say ner goes first, and then b'samim, mazon v'havdalah. So Rav Huna was asking Rava, how did you make the bracha on b'samim first? Both Beis Shammai and Beis Hillel hold that the ner goes first. Ani Rava Basrei, Rava answered, V'amar, the Mishnah you quoted me, Zu div Rab Meir. Aval Rab Yehuda oimer, but there's a sheet of Rab Yehuda that loy nechleku Beis Shammai Beis Hillel ala mazon shubatchilu v'lavdola shibesom. That if you had a meal shalosh shudis and Motzei Shabbos is coming, the first thing you do is bench. There's no argument. And they also agree that the last thing you do is havdalah, because you got to be mavdil at the end of Shabbos. Al ma nechleku. Where is the point of the machlokas? Ala mor v'alapsamim, regarding the bracha of mo'orei ha'esh and besamim. Beis Shammai oimrim mo'or. First you make mo'orei ha'esh v'achar kach besamim. Ubeis Hillel oimrim besamim v'achar kach mor, which is our shita. V'amar Rav Yochanan nohagu ha'am kebeis Hillel v'alibed Rav Yehuda. In fact, the practice of the people is like this Beis Hillel, not like Rab Meir, but like Rab Yehuda, which is first you make the bracha on the besamim, and then you make the bracha on the ma'or, which is our shita. Rav Yaakov bar Rava ikla bei Rava. Rav Yaakov visited Rava. Chazi de Baruch boy pri agefen akasa kamo. He made a bracha boy pri agefen because he was drinking wine in the middle of the Suda. V'hadar Baruch akasa de birchasa. Then he benched. At the end of the benching, he must have had 10 men. So he made a bracha, or even with a zimun, he made a bracha ala kos. And then he drank the kos after the benching, but he made another bracha. He didn't rely on the bracha bor pri hagefen that he had made during the Suda. Omer le lama lech kulahai. Why did you have to repeat the bor pri hagefen after the benching? Ha-baruch lan mor chada zimna. You already made a bor pri hagefen. Why doesn't that bor pri hagefen carry to this kos that you drank after benching? So Omer le, Rava responded, Ki avina be reish galusa, hachi avdinan. When we were in the home of the reish galusa, that's what I saw them do. Then after benching, they made a separate bracha on the bor pri hagefen. Omer le, so Rav Yaakov responded, Tinich be reish galusa, the hachi avid. I understand there because at the home of the reish galusa, where there's 1,000 people there, the suffix maisilon, suffix lo maisilon. When they bring you a cup of wine in the middle of the meal, and you make now a bor pri hagefen, you don't know that they're going to bring you another cup. There's 1,000 people here. So you have your mind on this kos. If they happen to bring you a second kos, you'll make a new bracha because your das, it's not like you're in your own home and you know you're going to be drinking all night. So when I make a boy gefen, I have in mind multiple kosos. In Reish Galus, it's hacha hamanach kasa kaman v'daitna loy. You had a kos during Suda, and you could have had your das on other kosos. So Rava answered, Amrle, ano avdi ketalmidei de Rav. The reason I make another bracha boy gefen after I bench, because I'm noig like the Talmidim of Rav. The Rav Bruna, Rav Chananel, Talmidei de Rav Avu. Rav Bruna and Rav Chananel were the Talmidim of Rav. When they were Yosvi Besudasa, when they were in their Suda, Koy Alay Rav Yeva Saba, the Meshamish was Rav Yeva has in the Zok, the elder. And we had drunk a glass of wine, but Amrulay, they had thought initially that maybe they want to bench. So they said, Havla Navarech. But before they got to bench, Lasof Amrulay Havlan Venishti, they changed their mind. Bring us another kos. Amr Lahu. So Rav Yeva said we can't. Hachi Amrav Kivan Damrisu Havlan Navarech. Like Rabbi Sai Navarech. That's basically once you made a statement that now you want to bench. So Itzur L'chula Mishti. That's it. You can't eat or drink anymore, or you certainly can't drink, because that's it. You decided to conclude your Suda. My time. You took your mind off to drink anymore once you say Havlan Navarech. And therefore, if you're gonna want to drink again, you'd have to make another bracha. These three Amoraim were sitting in the Suda. The Koyalai Ravacha Breda Rava, and Ravacha was there as well. Ameimar Baruch Kol Kasa V'Kasa. Ameimar made a bracha for every kos of wine that they brought. He made another boy pragefen. Umar Zutra Baruch HaKasa Kama V'Kasa Basra. Marzutra made a bracha on the first that he drank within the Suda, and he made a bracha after the benching, because they benched on a kos. He made a boy pragefen to drink after the benching. Ravashi Baruch HaKasa Kama, the Sulo Baruch. Ravashi made one boy pragefen in the beginning, and he didn't make any more brachas, even if he benched and drank another cup of wine. Amar Ravacha Barava. Anan Keman Navi. So who should we do like? Ameimar Omar, Nimlachana. Because when I drank one cup, I didn't realize that I wanted to drink another cup later on. I regretted. That's why I was Mesiach Das. I had to make another bracha. That was why he did his practice. And Marzutra Omar, remember, Marzutra was the one that made a bracha initially and a bracha after benching. He just said, Ano of Davidi Ketamida de Rav. Right? Rav Bruna, Rav Chananel, that was their practice. That once you said Havlan Levarech, there's like a Hesach Hadas. And now you have to make a new bracha on the boy pragefen after benching. But Ravashi Omar, less Hilchasa Ketamida de Rav. The halacha is not like that, and I'll prove it to you. The yontif shechali osachra Shabbos. You have a yontif that starts Motzei Shabbos. The Omar Rav. And then we went through what's the order. Rav said yayin. You make a boy pragefen and then kiddush, and then ner, and then havdalah. Which seems to, so you see that even though he made kiddush after the Birchas Hagayin and was mafsik, you don't have to make another bracha on the yayin before Havdalah. However, the Gemara says velohi. It's not correct. Hasam okar daita mimishte. By the Suda, he didn't want to drink anymore. But by Kiddush and Havdalah, There was no hesach hadas. Anyways, the halacha is that any wine that you drink in the within a suda, you covered all of that with the first bracha that you make. Unless you had in mind that you didn't want to drink anymore, then they brought you another one, then you'd drink it again. And the halacha is that at the end of the suda, when you're going to be prepared to bench and you say Havla Navarich, or even if you just pour the wine for the benching, you can't drink anymore. And if he wants to drink again, he has to make another boy priya gefen. Like we see, right? When you're at a wedding, forget a wedding, anytime you make a bracha, if you make a bracha lakos after the benching, you want to drink the wine, you have to make a boy priya gefen. That's the halacha. Okay. Kimata lavdule, by the Talmidim of Rav, or this is Rav Yaakov Barava when he visited Rava, who told us some things that Rava did. When they got to Havdalah, Kimata lavdula kam shame, his servant got up, va'adlik avuka mishraga. They lit a torch. They just didn't have a candle. They had multiple wicks. And they lit that from a nair. Omer lei, so Rav Yaakov Barava asked Rav, Lama lach kulai, well, what's this torch business? Haman chashraga. There was a candle there. Why can't you do birchas hama'oros just on a regular candle? Omer lei shama midaite de nafshe ka'avid. You know what? He didn't. It's not halach. He did it on his own. He didn't ask me. I didn't tell him to do it. Yeah, but if he didn't hear from you that that's the halach, he wouldn't have done it that way. He's clearly doing it because of your psak. So Omar Lei, so Rava said, what do you mean? That making Avdallah with a torch is the right way to do it. So that's why he followed that halacha that you should light an avuka. Okay. Now, what else did Rav do during Havdalah? Posach v'omar, Hamadil ben Kodesh l'chol, ben Or l'choshech, ben Yisrael l'amim, ben Yom HaShvi l'sheish ma'maisa. So he talked about Kodesh l'chol, Or l'choshech, Yisrael l'amim, and Shvi. So there were four. He mentioned four different separations. Omer lei lamalach kulahai. So again, Rav Yaakov had heard this, Rava do this, and again, what is this all about? Why so many Havdalahs? Rav Yudah Marav Amadu ben Kodesh l'chol zui Havdalta shel Rav Yudah Nasi. That's what Rav Yudah Nasi would say. Didn't go through all of these other Havdalahs. So why are you adding all these Havdalahs? Omer lei anok hasvirli. I hold the Omer Rabbi Lazar, Omer Rabbi Shia, that hapoiches, somebody wants to minimize lo yivchos mishalish. You should never do less than 3 Havdalahs. The hamoisif lo yoisif al sheva, and if you're going to add, you shouldn't add more than 7. How did we end up with 4? So tomorrow we'll learn how we ended up with 4. Okay.
Correct.